Back with Bobby and JG Radio, and this show is entitled Elderly Care. Our first guest is Todd Marquardt. Did I say
Yes.
that? That's perfect. I've been practicing that too, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
So, Todd, let's talk about your law firm and kind of how it's a little bit different than some of the other ones here in San Antonio.
Okay, well, we're unique in that we seek to empower thousandaires as well as millionaires to tax efficiently protect and preserve assets, reduce family conflict, and maximize government benefits.
So I like that you say that you empower, because here in Bobby and JJ Radio, we're here to educate, empower, and engage our audience in different topics, and you guys are definitely the top tier professionals in this field.
Right.
And so tell me a little bit about how long you've been in business and your staff and some of the missions and values that you guys really are focusing on.
Well, I've had my own practice for almost 6 years now.
Sure.
And in that 6 years, I've gone from the guy that answers the phone to the managing attorney. Right. I have 2 other attorneys that help me out. One attorney's our real estate guy.
Sure.
He searches the deed records to make sure everything's right. And I have a litigating attorney who helps when people get mad.
Right.
When the siblings hate each other, he's the guy that steps in and files the lawsuit. And all of us back each other up just in case there's an emergency.
Sure. And
that separates us from a lot of other elder law attorneys, because most elder law attorneys are solo practitioners.
So let's talk about elder law itself. I don't think a lot of people are aware. I mean, they understand that there's a particular focus on it, but let's talk a little bit more about it.
Well, some people ask me, why do you practice elder law if you're so young? And, well, it just happens to be that way. Because it's a relatively new focus in law. It started in the late 80s and early 90s. Most attorneys focus on an area of law like criminal defense or personal injury.
Sure.
Elder law is unique in that we focus on the characteristics of a particular client. Somebody who's older, somebody who's elderly,
right,
and the struggles that they go through. Mostly dealing with government benefits or wills, trusts, probate, guardianship, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Do you primarily only work with thousandaires?
No, we work all the way up to millionaires who have tax planning for the federal estate tax issues, where the federal exemption this year is $5,340,000. As long as you leave less than that, you don't have to worry about the federal estate tax. But there are some people in San Antonio who have more than that, and it's largely a voluntary tax. Only those people that forget to plan or hate lawyers will pay the federal estate tax. For example, Bill Gates is not going to pay federal estate tax, and he's a billionaire. So if you plan in advance, you don't have to pay.
Sure. So let's talk about some of the programs that you help with elderly clients take advantage of. So can you go through a couple of those?
Sure. One of the big programs here in Military USA, San Antonio, is the Veterans Pension, the Aid and Attendance Program. That's for a veteran and his spouse if they served during a period of war and have low assets and low income and high unreimbursed medical expenses. They can qualify for this cash pension that's tax-free. So that's one program. Another program is Medicaid that pays for nursing home care. And what's unique about these programs is it's more like tax planning now. If you can jump through the hoops, if you can get through the red tape, you can qualify too. And Congress and the state legislatures set it up this way because they don't want to change the programs. As soon as they change the programs, they're going to get voted out of office.
Sure.
So they just make it more complicated to get qualified. 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you maybe didn't have to hire a lawyer to get your government benefits. The social worker would sit down with you at a table and walk you through the application. Those days are gone. Now it's so complicated and so bureaucratic, the workers themselves don't know all the exceptions.
So at what point should someone speak to you about qualifying for these programs?
Whenever a life event happens, it's a good idea to talk to your estate planning or elder law attorney. If your loved one has a heart attack or stroke or is diagnosed with dementia or Alzheimer's, if there's an accident or a fall and disability is likely and recovery is slow, it's time to get your affairs in order, and you want to make sure that you have a will. Everybody needs a will, even young people like you and JJ. And so you want to have your plan in place. You want to name your trusted advisors in advance before something bad happens, because if you fall off the ladder and you never wake up but you're still alive, you're not going to be able to name somebody you trust. The state of Texas is going to have to do that for you.